I think it's a cliche these days. People talk about growth and efficiency in every company, every industry, but I think Life Healthcare does live it. And this is shown by its, I think, cautious but rather quite decisive growth over the last 5 years, and certainly in its published results since its listing in 2010. Life Healthcare has chosen to go for the emerging markets, and so it has grown into regions like India, for example. It has bought 26% of Maxi Health in an environment which is growing at about 6.97% GDP, as opposed to Europe, which is just under 1% at the moment, and is likely to remain that way for quite a while. So I think just in terms of that simple growth, I think looking at their figures and how unencumbered their balance sheet is with debt, I think their latest debt to equity ratio is about 0.58, and so there's lots of capacity should opportunities arise, I think, for them to borrow money and to expand wherever those opportunities do arise. So they could, for instance, in India, increase their stake in Maxi Health, or they could find new opportunities for themselves once they get to know the environment, the regulatory situation, and where they are likely, their target markets are likely to be situated. And then there is their internal things, I think, which you see by looking at their last 2 annual reports about their efficiencies. They will tell you, for example, that they get single-digit increases in terms of tariffs approved by the medical aids, but consistently, I think they have shown that they turn out double-digit increases in operating profit. 16.4% last year. We don't know what it will be this year, and so on. And I think just the way they manage their working capital, their long-term relations with suppliers, which they talk about in their values, in their annual reports, trying to contain costs as much as possible, and a very disciplined approach to opportunities. They would rather stand back and sort of survey the whole universe and say, where best can we get the best returns for our shareholders? And I think at the moment, Life Healthcare in India, an environment growing at 6.9%. In South Africa, we estimate maybe 3.2% growth in GDP. I think the prospects are pretty good.